Good morning, and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. You know, I love starting your day with something that encourages your heart, and this one hits close to home. There's a quote I came across that says, sometimes when things are falling apart, they may actually be falling into place. Now, if you've ever prayed and you thought God was running late, you know exactly what that feels like. Maybe you've been waiting on an answer, and it seems like heaven is silent. Maybe you've been asking for change, and nothing's moving. It feels like your life is unraveling. But here's what I've learned. God's timing is never late. In fact, what feels like a delay might actually be God rearranging things so they come together in a way you never expected. Sometimes the pieces have to fall apart before they can be rebuilt into something better. The Bible says in Psalm 37:7, be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for Him to act. And that's the hardest part, waiting patiently, because we want instant answers. We want immediate results, but God sees the bigger picture. He knows the right door, the right opportunity, the right relationship, and He's working even when we don't see it. So here's my question for you this morning. When have you seen God's timing work out better than yours? Personal story for you. I found myself at a video production company in Huntsville. It was a nice job, but I had an opportunity to make a move. And it wasn't back into television in Huntsville. Rather, it was a step back to a job I had left years before in Jacksonville. Yeah, I went to Jacksonville State. While I was there, I've told you the story of how I started working at Channel 24. Well, it just so happens they had an opening, and they really wanted me back. And you know what? I thought it was the right move. I was thinking, yeah, you know what? This could be something good. And it felt comfortable because, hey, I knew these people. I could go back and it would be like old times. But there was just something about it that didn't set right. And so it didn't happen. My wife didn't feel peace about it. And I was left wondering, is this the right move? Is this not the right move? So that peace just wasn't there. I could have stepped back into comfort, but if I had, who knows if I would have ever ended up right here. You see, God's timing is not our timing. We have to trust that He knows what He's doing. And so sometimes it's not the right time to step into something. And that's okay. What feels like a delay may really be that setup that you need. Because I'm seeing it now as I'm sitting here in this studio. If I had taken that job back at Channel 24 in Jacksonville, I may have never made it here. I may have never walked into that path that God wanted me on. So trust His timing. Though it feels like it might be a missed opportunity on our part, in our minds, it's really a setup for something better. So I wonder if you would share your story with me like I just shared mine with you. Text me, 256-967-0885, and let me know. Or call me up here at the studio. I'd love to hear your voice, 256-505-0885. If you'd rather email, here it is, Steven@885jfm.com. Because when you look back, I think you'll find that what felt like falling apart was really falling into place. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Hey, could I give a shout out to our listeners in Tucson this morning? 2 mornings in a row. Thank you for making us part of your day. It means a lot that you're here.
What is success? Obedience at God's pace.
That's good.
It's not just obedience.
Yeah.
It's obedience at God's pace. So it may look like you're failing for a little while, but I will tell you the times that it looked like I was failing on the outside, those are some of the seasons God was doing the most amazing work on the inside. And typically, God prepares you for success by helping you navigate failure.
It's almost chilly outside. I mean, seriously, we're in the 50s right now. Can you believe that? 53 in Arab and in Boaz, 54 right now in Huntsville. Here in Guntersville, we're the closest one to the 60-degree mark, sitting at 58 degrees. So, yeah, feeling good and looking fabulous out there. That sunrise is something else. Hey, let's talk about your word of life. From Psalm 37:7 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for him to act. Don't worry about evil people who prosper or fret about their wicked schemes. Wow. That means focus on what God's got for you. Don't focus on those other people, and don't you dare get jealous of their progress, because your Heavenly Father has something even better for you. Ooh, I love that. Hey, why don't you share that word of life with somebody? Thanks so much for hanging out with me here this morning on the Lifeline Morning Show. Real hope, real faith, real life.
Most people don't realize how many versions of themselves they've already left behind. The person you were 5 years ago, you barely recognize them now. Different priorities, different people you thought you'd never lose. You've outgrown places you once called home. You've let go of people you thought would stay forever. You've survived nights you were convinced would break you. And yet, you rarely notice the shift while it's happening. Growth doesn't announce itself. You don't wake up one morning fully healed, fully changed. It happens quietly, in conversations you no longer tolerate, in boundaries you finally set, in the peace you start protecting without apology. The version of you reading this right now, one day, even this person will feel distant, because you're still becoming, still evolving into someone your past self wouldn't even believe. And that's not something to fear. That's proof you're still alive.
Let's talk about your word of life today from Psalm 37, verse 7, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for him to act. Don't worry about evil people who prosper or fret about their wicked schemes. Wow. What does that say? Hey, you do you, because he's got you, and you ain't got to worry about anybody else but you, because he's got you. That's my version of it. That's the Stephen version of that verse. Hey, you know what? You should tell somebody your version of it too when you share this word of life with them. We've got it ready for you in photo form across our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and over on X. You can share it right now. Plus, it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. The video version of that will be up across all platforms coming up at 8:15 this morning. So another way for you to share that word of life and participate in the Great Commission. It's not the Great Suggestion. So we're helping you to share your faith with somebody today. All right, so last night at soccer practice, we were talking about butterflies. Yeah, there's a little girl who was playing with the butterfly, and she was naming it. And so I got to wondering, I said, do you know what they call butterflies in Spanish? It was me and my wife sitting there, and she's, no. And we say, mariposa. Oh, what? Yeah, oh, that sounds so nice. You know what they call it in German? I asked. And she said, what? I said, Schmetterling. I said, it sounds kind of mean, kind of angry. I know, it's butterfly. But when you really think about it, let's get down to brass tacks here. Okay, a butterfly. I asked her this question as well. Have you ever seen butterfly? I mean, can you take a butterfly and smear it on a biscuit? No, you can't do that. Why do we call them butterflies? It makes no sense whatsoever. But I want to propose to you a new name for butterflies. This one makes sense because butterflies, they flutter by. Let's call them flutterbys instead. What do you think? Does it work? Well, you know, it's funny because mariposa, actually, the reason why we knew that word was because it was from a Disney movie. I don't know if you've seen Encanto before, but that Disney movie, it shared that term. There were a lot of Spanish terms thrown around in that one. And so I got us talking about Disney movies. And you know what? That Disney movie wouldn't have been possible if not for Walt Disney, who started the company years and years ago. But did you know that he had such a hard time getting his business started? Yeah. Did you know that he got rejected time and time and time again? That same Walt Disney who started the company, who started Mickey Mouse, who actually brought Disneyland and Disney World In fact, you know what? It wasn't all daisies and sunshine. No, it was kind of a tough time. I got the dramatic music on in the background because I want to tell you a story. You see, when Walt was a young man, he worked as a newspaper cartoonist. He got fired because his editor told him he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. After that, he tried starting an animation company, and it went bankrupt. From the outside, it looked like everything was falling apart. But here's the twist. Each setback actually pushed Walt toward creating something bigger. He went on to start Disney Studios, invent Mickey Mouse, eventually build Disneyland and Disney World, a place where kids and families could experience joy together. So here's the takeaway. You ready for it? The rejection, the failure, the job loss, they weren't the end. They were the falling apart moments that God used to set him up for something greater. You see that? Because, hey, sometimes things don't work out. And we think that that's the end. That's the failure. But then what happens? All those pieces and parts that have fallen apart, well, they can be put back together in a very beautiful way. So, I'm just saying, if you're looking at failure today, maybe it's a setup for something bigger. And you know what? There's something to be said about being patient in the moment, especially for those of you who are headed into school this morning, because it's going to take some patience to learn these new things during this new school year. So I just wanted to encourage you this morning that even though it might look like instant failure, if you will let yourself grow through it and rise to the occasion and turn that failure into success, it can happen, but it's going to take some time. Now, what do you think? Can you give it some time? Can you learn the things? Can you be a little more patient? Okay. All right. I sure hope so, because you know what? You got a very bright future ahead of you, and I'm so glad that I'm a part of it here on the radio. Okay, so it's about that time for us to have a little fun. Are you ready to play my game? Well, let's do it. Here we go. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn. All right, now let's go ahead and crank that engine, and then let's start that music so I can say, hey, everybody, it's time to play the car line competition. Today is Wednesday. What does that mean? It's Wacky Word Wednesday. Ooh, so I've got some letters to pass along your way. And don't worry, it's not going to be as awkward as last week. Last week was rough. This Wacky Word Wednesday was awkward. So here we go. I'm going to just spit them out, and I'm going to give you some options. All right, so here it is. I have these letters that are scrambled. I need you to make a word out of them. The phone number, by the way, 256-505-0885. And here we go. All right, here are the letters. N-R-E-T-E-I-D-M-T-O-A-N-I. You're like, hold on. That's too many letters, Stephen. I know. I got to make it hard. So let me read them one more time. N-R-E-T-E-I-D-M-T-O-A-N-I. Now, what can you spell with those letters? Is it A, domination, B, termination, C, determination, or D, motivation? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. You're like, Stephen, I didn't get all the letters. Okay, you got the phone? Or do you have the paper and the pen? Okay, here we go. I'm going to read them one more time, a little slower. Ready? I don't have to. Somebody's already calling in. What? I have a very brave caller on the phone right now. What's your name?
Perry.
Perry with a P, like Perry the Platypus, or Terry with a T?
With a T.
With a T? Okay, so Terry. What are we up to today?
Determination.
What? Yes! Congratulations to you.
Why, thank you.
Just won 3 gift cards. Yeah, so you know the way this works. We want you to keep one and give the other 2 away to 2 very special people. I wonder if you could tell me about those 2 very special people.
My daughter, Zoe.
All right. What do we love about Zoe?
Oh, she is just the sweetest person ever.
Awesome. And who is that second person?
My mom, Cassandra.
Oh, wow. Your mom. What does mom mean to you?
My mom means a whole lot to me.
I gotcha. She been there through a bunch of stuff, huh?
My entire life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have made it here without her.
That's good stuff. I love when the love is shared here on the radio. Terry, I think you rock. Could I ask you one more question?
Uh-huh.
Why do you listen to us?
Because it sets the perfect positive mood for the day and brings me closer to God wherever I go.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm so glad that you found something good here. And that's how it's done. Your car line competition round 1 is done. 3 gift cards out the door. You know what? An adult played the first round, which guarantees that the second round is just for kids only. So only a kid can call in and win this next one. Okay? So round number 2. Are you ready for it? I'm going to give you a riddle, okay? And you have to figure this riddle out. I'll give you some multiple choices to choose from to see if maybe you're right. So here we go. Listen very carefully. I'm going to kill the music so you can focus on my words. Here we are. Here's the riddle. I'm not alive, but I can grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me? What am I? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Is it A, a balloon, B, fire, C, a sponge, or D, a rock? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Listen one more time. Here's the riddle. I'm not alive, but I can grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? A, a balloon, B, fire, C, a sponge, or D, a rock? Kid only, 256-505-0885. Waiting on your call right now, trying to give away some gift cards.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good. Who am I talking to?
Bennett and Carson Neesmith.
Bennett and Carson Neesmith. Okay, Bennett, since you already played, can I play with Carson?
Yeah.
All right, Carson.
Yeah.
What's going on, Carson?
We're on our way to school.
Okay, are you driving or are you riding?
Riding.
Riding? Come on. Why aren't you driving that car? Wouldn't it be more fun?
My name won't let me.
That's probably for the best. But you can like drive on a video game. That'll work. Okay, here we go. Got a question for you. I got a riddle for you. Here it is. I'm not alive, but I can grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? A, a balloon, B, fire, C, a sponge, or D, a rock?
Is it fire?
Is it fire? Let's see. Not alive, but can grow. Sure, fire can grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. That's right. Fire needs air to live, and I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. Water does put out a fire, so it sounds good to me. You want to lock in the answer?
Yeah.
Congratulations to you. You just won 3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
Excited.
I'm excited too. You know how this works. We want you to keep one and give 2 away to 2 very special people. Can you tell me about them?
I'm going to get one to Miss Humphreys.
All right, Miss Humphreys. What do we love about Miss Humphreys?
She makes reading really fun.
Awesome. Anything in particular you've been reading that gets you really excited here lately?
First day of jitters.
Say it again.
First day of jitters.
First day of jitters?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So now the second person. Can you tell me about another very special person going to get a gift card from you?
I'm my math teacher.
Your math teacher. Oh, what's their name?
Miss Giles.
All right. What do we love about that teacher?
She makes math really fun and easy.
Oh, cool. So it sounds like you like numbers then.
Yeah.
What's your favorite number?
8.
8. Why do we like 8 so much?
Because I'm turning 8.
Because you're turning 8? Whoa. When is that happening?
In a few weeks.
A few weeks. So September or October?
14th.
Whoa. Good.
September.
Awesome. You got a September birthday too. I do as well. Mine's coming up on the 1st. So, hey.
My friend's birthday's on the 1st.
Whose?
My friend.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so you're going to be 8 years old.
Yeah, my birthday's September 14th.
September 14th. Very nice. Well, if I don't get to talk with you between now and then, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Carson, what school do you go to? Is it Cherokee Elementary?
Gunnersville Elementary.
Gunnersville Elementary. All right, I'll get these gift cards sent your way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
And that is how it's done. The Carline competition second round in the books, 3 gift cards out the door. And you remember Carson said, first day jitters. I think I found the book. So can I read a little bit of it? I'm not going, said Sarah, and pulled the covers over her head. Of course you're going, honey, said Mr. Hartwell as he walked over to the window and snapped up the shade. No, I'm not. I don't want to start over again. I hate my new school, Sarah said. She tunneled down to the end of her bed. How can you hate your new school, sweetheart? Mr. Hartwell chuckled. You've never been there before. Don't worry. You liked your other school. You'll like this one. Besides, just think of all the new friends you'll meet. That's just it. I don't know anybody, and it'll be hard, and I just hate it. That's all. What will everyone think if you aren't there? We told them you were coming. Sounds like the beginning of a really good book, doesn't it? So there you go. The name of it again is First Day Jitters by Julie Danneberg. So, hey, pretty cool stuff. Turn me on to a good book there, Carson. Thank you so much. All right, now, I have one more thing I want to pass along to all you kids as you are headed into that schoolhouse. One little lesson that I came across that really blew my mind. Can I share it with you? Is that okay? All right, let's do this. This guy, his name is John Beckett, and he was in his car and he had heard this story and wanted to share it with everybody. So I think maybe he should share it with all of us. Take a listen to this.
So a teacher walked up to the chalkboard and drew a line and asked her class to make the line shorter without erasing any of it. And the students went back and forth with suggestions and couldn't figure out what to do until one kid raised his hand and said, I think I know what to do. And he walks up to the chalkboard and draws a longer line under it. The teacher said, exactly. You see, you don't have to attack things to make them shrink. Sometimes you just need to outgrow them.
That's a beautiful lesson. Sometimes you don't have to attack things. You just have to outgrow them. You have to be patient. You have to keep moving forward, regardless of what everything else is looking like. And you're going to make it. So I hope that encourages you today. Now, hey, I hope you have an amazing day at school. Maybe you've never reached out to me before, or maybe you have. Guess what? I want to hear from you for the first time, or I want to hear from you again. So text me. Just say hi. Tell me your favorite song. Tell me your name, where you're listening from. You're the reason why I'm here in the first place. So let's connect. Text me, 256-967-0885. Number one more time, 256-967-0885. I look forward to hearing from you. And you know what? I did hear from one of you just a few minutes ago. You know, I read a little bit of that book that Carson was telling us about. And then I got a call saying, Stephen, you should read books. She said, I wanted you to finish the rest of the book. You had me interested in it. Thank you so much for calling up and letting me know that. You know what? I'm not opposed to going to a library sometime and reading a book to some kids or to a school. I'm just saying. I'd love to do something like that. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay, so I have this struggle, and I wanted to be transparent with you about it. The struggle is I want to be productive every waking moment. And sometimes that's a problem because it can be seen as me not wanting to spend quality time even with my family. And it can really be a point of contention. And it's not something that I anticipate doing. It's not something I mean to do. It's just, I think maybe if I've got some free time, I could be productive. And so, yeah, I might have my laptop in front of me, might be working on something on my phone, might be on the phone talking with somebody. I don't know. It's one of those things I feel driven like all the time to be doing something. And I've been working on this because I've had to realize that sometimes relaxing, sometimes taking a break is what's really needed to keep me healthy. Because let's be honest, you keep going and going and going, and you can burn out in a hurry. That's the last thing I want. I don't want to burn out. But I'm still struggling with this. I came across a lady who has the same kind of attitude about it, but she's learning how to unplug as well. And so I want you to hear her story coming up at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. I will be hitting this story. And I hope that if you deal with this, if you deal with having to be productive all the time, feeling so driven and so tired because you're so driven, that you will be here to hear this story, because I think it's going to be a game changer for you. So I want to invite you to be here at 8 o'clock. Now, if you can't, I completely understand. You got stuff you got to do. You can catch it on the podcast after the show this morning at 10:30. It'll be ready for you on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Coming up at 8 o'clock. While you're waiting patiently, while you're being still in the presence of the Lord, it's good if you can enjoy what he's put around you. If you could start counting your blessings. For instance, I just got a photo from Margaret Simpson showing me the sunrise this morning. And she said he really showed out this morning with all his beautiful artwork. Oh, yes, he is. It's amazing. I'm going to go and try to share this over on the JFM family group so everybody can see this photo, because you need to see this. It's gorgeous. So, but hey, I'll do that in the next few minutes. I'll do it after this break from Allie Reed, talking about success and achievement and running yourself ragged and burning yourself out. So stick around. We'll get into that coming up after this. Let's go ahead and do another Forrest Frank. Your Way's Better. I'm so sorry I can't share the song with you here, but you can go over to YouTube, type in Forrest Frank, Your Way's Better, and hear it for yourself later, after the show. Okay? Sound good? Thanks. Very rarely will you see me looking attentively at a television screen, because lots of times I figured that, hey, this is some downtime and I could get some work done right now. I could get I could make some headway. I could be a little more successful. I could push just a little harder. And that is something I'm dealing with myself, because I feel like anytime I have downtime, well, that's a good time to get something done. And you know, it can get unhealthy. It really can if you're just driven like that all the time. But I'm not the only person who deals with this. Likely you deal with a little bit of this as well. Well, I found Allie. Allie deals with this a lot. And she has just been turned on to something that's helping her kind of deal with this in the best way ever. So I want her to tell you her story. Take a listen.
I am really tired of always trying to achieve something or always trying to excel at something. I've always been really achievement minded. I've always been prone to step into leadership roles. On the StrengthsFinder assessment, one of my strengths, I'm pretty sure my number one strength is achiever, like all that stuff. I have always wanted to win. Always been driven by trying to succeed, trying to be the best, trying to be the best version of myself. But not only am I getting really, really tired, I am getting really anxious all the time. I get really anxious when my next task isn't working towards something, isn't a step of progress. I feel a pressure to be doing something that amounts to something else. Does that make sense? I think I've just become a slave to achievement, which is really hard to think about, because all the time it feels like people are saying you should have goals, you should be aspiring for things, you should be working towards things, set goals, and that makes life better if you have something to work towards. But I'm getting really anxious. I can't remember if I read this phrase or if just reading about it, if this flow that popped into my head, but something I've been repeating to myself a lot in the last couple of days is sanctification over success. I'm rereading a book by Jen Wilkin. This book right here, it's called In His Image, and she talks about the attributes of the Lord that we can reflect. She talks about how we often ask the question, what should I do? Instead of who should I be? And I feel like as I've become more and more anxious about my life, the question I find myself asking is, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to be doing right now? What's the right thing to do? What would God want me to do right now? And while there's nothing inherently bad about that, I think that habit has affected what I really think God cares about for me and what he wants for me in my life. What he does want for me is for me to be made more and more like him each day. That's what he wants. Sanctification over success. I want my thoughts to be more about how can I be like Christ instead of how can I accomplish this next thing? How can I achieve something? My life doesn't need accomplishment after accomplishment to have meaning. Living today, as much as I can be like Jesus, is way more satisfying and way more fulfilling, way more life-giving, way more meaningful to other people and to myself than it would be if I continue only thinking about getting things done or getting ahead or making some kind of progress. I want to be less achievement-minded and more set on being sanctified and being made like Jesus. Sanctification over success. I pray you join me in repeating that to ourselves today. You don't have to go achieve some grand thing ever, or especially today. Just lean on Jesus today.
That's a game changer and a great reminder for me today. How about for you? Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Allie, for sharing that. The Summer Sound Show Down. That's right. Your chance to win a family 4-pack to Lake Winnie. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Maybe the last hurrah of the summer, or you know what? Lake Winnie actually runs through October 31st. Now, after Labor Day, you won't be able to take advantage of the water park, but still, they're going to have some good stuff going on. So, yeah. How does it work? Well, you see, only one person can win in their household for the entire summer. Sorry, this is just how we have to do it because we're trying to share the love with as many people as possible. So just wanted to let you know that off the top. Now, if you've already won tickets like the Point Mallard, you can't win again. So sorry about that. But here we go. I have a sound effect, and then I'm going to play the sound effect, then I'm going to give you some options. What is it that you are hearing? You tell me the correct answer. You're going to win a family 4-pack to Lake Winnie. Okay, so let me bring this music down. And then I'll bring the sound effect up. Now listen very carefully. It might be a little loud. I'm going to try to make it not too loud, but it might make you cringe just a little bit. You ready? Here we go. 256-505-0885 is the number to call. All right. And it looks like I've already got a caller without even given the options. So, hey, let's go have some fun. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Good. What's your name?
Stephanie Marbett.
Stephanie Marbett. All right. You haven't played my game this year, have you?
I've never played before, no.
All right. So, first time ever calling into the station, or have I played with you on something else like the car line before?
No, first time ever.
Whoa, thank you so much for calling in. So have you been thinking about doing this for a while? You just finally got up the courage to do it?
No, I was going down the road, and usually I'm at work, but I'm off today, and I finally heard it.
Very good. Well, I'm so glad you're here to play. So the sound effect I have, well, here, I'll just play it for you one more time, then I'll give you some options to choose from, and you tell me what you think it is, okay? So here we go.
Alrighty.
Here is the sound effect. So what did you just hear? Was it A, a Ferris wheel seat rocking and squeaking? Was it B, a playground swing set creaking? Was it C, an old rocking chair on a porch? Or was it D, a rusty screen door opening slowly?
Oh.
Right?
I thought I knew, and then you give me some more options.
Well, here, tell me, what did you think you knew it was before I even gave you the options?
I thought it was the B, the swing.
You thought it was a swing. Okay. All right. Well, that is one of the options. I'm just saying that seems like your gut reaction. So, I mean, you want to say B and lock that in, or do you want to think about the other options?
Let's just go ahead and lock it in. Why not?
Going with your gut, locking it in. B, a playground swing set creaking. Congratulations to you. You just won a family 4-pack.
Yay! Thank you.
You're very welcome. So Lake Winnie, have you ever been there before?
Yes, we love it.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, you know what? Now you'll have to use them pretty quick if you want to get in on the water park. But if you want to wait until a little later after Labor Day, they're also open until like the 31st of October. They got some stuff going on with the amusement park. So it's completely up to you. but you just won them. So who are you going to take with you?
My husband, and that's a good question.
Ooh.
Either my stepdaughter and her boyfriend, or my son and one of his friends, or who knows, it might be my stepdaughter and my son.
Okay.
We don't know.
Well, there you go. Hey, it's going to be fun for the whole family, so I hope y'all have a blast. I will get these emailed your way. And can I ask you one more question, Stephanie?
Sure.
Why do you listen to us?
Oh my gosh! Because I get a blessing every morning. It gets my praise and worship started. I absolutely love it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. You're the reason why we're here. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. So much fun. The Summer Sound Showdown. Guess what? We'll do it again tomorrow morning in the 8 o'clock hour. Yeah, we're going to have them tomorrow, though, to Alabama Adventure Splash Adventure down in Bessemer. And then on Friday to Point Mallard Water Park in Decatur. So we've been doing this summer, and this is, I think this will be the last full week of the Summer Sound Showdown. So 2 more opportunities for you to call in and win this week, so I hope you will. And like I was mentioning, we also have the car line competition. That gets kicked off every morning around 6:50. We play 2 rounds of it, so it goes from about 6:50 or so until about 7:20. And we have some fun. You know, we give away 3 gift cards, 1 to keep, 2 to give away. Ask you who you're going to share them with so you can share some love on the radio. Sometimes people go ahead and cash them out. Sometimes people say, you know what? I want to get a train started. So then those roll on to the next caller. So those 3 become 6. You know, was it yesterday? Yesterday. Finally had somebody cash out those gift cards. 15 of them. 15 gift cards. That kid is going to have a lot of new friends at school because a lot of smiles on their faces when they get a gift card. I'm just saying. It's a lot of fun. So, hey, that's tomorrow morning. At around 6:50, we'll start that. But we've got plenty of show left today, so don't go anywhere. But just in case you have to go somewhere, let me tell you how you can catch up with what you miss. If you can't listen wherever you are, you can go to our podcast. Today's episode will be up at 10:30 on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio Podcast, Amazon Music Podcast, and YouTube Podcast. All 5 locations this morning. So you can go check it out for yourself, or if you hear something that you think somebody in your life needs to hear, you can totally go copy that link and share it with them so they can hear it too. We're just trying to make everybody's day a little bit better with real hope, real faith, and real life, and you're helping us do that. So thank you so much for your help. So I don't know if you've been following all the drama that's been going down on the socials surrounding Forrest Frank. You know, a while back, you remember I talked about this. He actually was playing with his kid, and he was on a skateboard. He fell off the skateboard just right at the edge of the concrete, and he landed and broke his back. I mean, cracked vertebrae. He had an x-ray to prove it, right? So he was laid up in the bed for a couple weeks, and it was a lot of pain. I remember seeing those videos because he documented it very well, of his wife trying to help him up out of the bed so he could just get up and go to the bathroom, and the pain, how he was just in anguish. It was rough. It was rough to watch. But he documented that, and, you know, some people recognized what was going on. And so Forrest wrote a song, God's Got My Back. And then the Figs got involved, and they said, you know what, when life is sour, you know, Jesus is making lemonade. So I love the way that they did that, and Forrest was game to play that, and they went ahead and put the song together, and that song right there got over 1 million streams in the first weekend, which was amazing. But, you know, more and more people are noticing what's happening with Forrest, and they're trying to come up with ways to get on board with what they think is going on. But, you know, I also reported to you that he was miraculously healed. After 2 weeks of being laid up in the bed, he got up one morning, just doing morning like normal, like before he broke his back, and he realized what was going on. He's like, hold on a second, I don't feel any pain. So he went to the doctor, they did more scans, and there was not even evidence that he had broken his back. It was a miraculous healing. And so it's just been amazing to see. More and more artists have been watching this happen, and they're trying to get on board with what's happening with Forrest because he's blowing up musically right now. But they're going out of their way, and they're kind of making fun of what's going on. And that's never good. It's not a good look, especially for a Christian artist, right? So Forrest decided to go ahead and address this, specifically with one of the artists who kind of took it a little too far. He kind of has a habit of doing that. So here, take a listen to what went down on the socials, and we'll process through this one together, okay?
Okay, everyone has tagged me in this video of Corey Asbury. Apparently he got injured as well.
So I just got home from the hospital, and honestly, the meds are starting to wear off. A little trigger warning, but here's the video.
What's up, guys? I'm on the table getting a vasectomy.
So we didn't plan this, but you know, my boy Forrest, he turned lemons into lemonade, and so I figured I still got use of my hands. You know, I could still make music. So I'm sitting here and decided to cook this song up, and hope it encourages y'all.
Snip, snip season, but we stay winning. So,
man, this is super tough. I know y'all are gonna be like, Forrest, you're way too sensitive, but this is like the 10th or even the 20th post I have seen from another Christian artist making fun of probably the most traumatic moment of my life, my wife's life. And I know that God has brought a lot of blessing from it, and maybe that's why y'all think it's cool to like now make fun of it. These are people that I've never spoken to, I've never interacted with them, and for some reason my algorithm sends it directly to me. I can totally understand the fact you guys are just having fun. You're probably not even really thinking that I'm gonna see it. I'll just say this to everybody who's making these videos, I'm not telling you to stop, but this raises a really interesting conversation with social media, because there's no seatbelt on a social media. I know there's a lot of kids that are watching this. You know, when you're in junior high and you're in high school, you're gonna get made fun of a lot. All that being said, Corey, I'm still gonna write you a song. So give me a second. Wow, that came out kind of heavy. Corey, I know that you're a deep songwriter. I think it would be really cool if we kind of tackled this subject together, if you're down to play ball. So I'm thinking I'm gonna call it Misunderstood. Here it is.
Sometimes words hit you in the chest, sting you like a bee, and rob you of your rest. And heaven knows sometimes people try to mean well, but trauma from their past got them stuck inside of hell. Well, it's okay if you feel misunderstood. There's a man who did as well when they never toured, and even through all the pain, still he forgave them. So I can forgive somebody too.
What do you think about that? So he's decided, hey, he's going to go ahead and address it. He's going to start writing a song. Let's do this, Corey, if you're down to play ball. And guess what? I found that Corey did respond. And so I want to play that for you real quick, because I just think it's part of the story that needs to be heard. I don't want to play another song and then come back. So let's just get right into it, okay? Here's Corey's response to what went down there. Take a listen to this.
Forrest Frank, I saw your video, man. My phone has been absolutely blowing up, brother. Let me take this opportunity to say I apologize, man. I never meant to poke fun at anything that you were going through. I don't know if you've noticed this lately, but you've been kind of blowing up, and your content is almost a template to have fun and create. So everybody's jumping on it. I experienced this with Reckless Love, people sort of coming out of the woodwork to attach themselves to that, to get some views and some likes from it. So, bro, I apologize for being one of those people. I heard your song, and I think it's really powerful, man. I'm down to go there with you, bro. If I may, I'd love to just pull back the curtain a little bit. I've seen all the comments, you know, he's a heretic, he's going to hell, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, this and that. And maybe that's my fault for never introducing myself to y'all in a deep way. This is no excuse, but I grew up in a home where it was rough. A lot of things going on, a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling. When I use comedy as a way to lighten the load of life, bring levity to an otherwise heavy situation, humor has always been a big part of my life. It's helped me make friends, and I'll admit that there's been times that I've taken it too far, and I'll own that. But what I have is a high value for honesty and transparency. You know, living here in Nashville, I see a lot of people that are one way behind closed doors in a completely different way with their friends. It's always been a goal of mine to treat social media like a group chat with the boys. What you see is what you get. I'm not fake. I'm not putting on a performance for anyone. That's no excuse. I feel misunderstood as well. And I can see the bigger picture here. I know that I brought this on myself. If I were to write a verse on this, it would maybe be something like, sometimes words cut so deep, it's hard to be kind when anger's all you've seen. The shadow of home can stretch long through the years, covers up the sunshine even when the sky's clear. 'Cause it's okay if you feel misunderstood. There's a man who did as well when they never would. Even through all the pain, still he forgave them. So I can forgive somebody too.
Sounds like something beautiful, something heartfelt is going to come from this collaboration between these two artists. And I'm so glad that Forrest was able to go ahead and address this because, I mean, it is a very serious topic in his life. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, tell you what's going on behind the scenes with the artists and how these collaborations are coming about. And I know we got especially a lot of kids who love Forrest Frank. And I think that is amazing. I think he's just what they need. He brings about that new sound. He brings about that reliance on God and talking about God in everyday life. I love that. And so I know one of them actually, her name is Nova. Yeah, Nova Claire. She's my little niece. She's listening right now up in Clarksville, Tennessee. So, hey, I thought maybe I'd play a Forrest Frank song for Nova this morning, if that's okay. Forrest Frank with Connor Price and Up. Good morning, Nova. Hope you're having a great day so far. Hey, I got to say this. I've noticed something while I've been here at the station. You know, I've been here like 9.5 years now. It's been a wild ride. It's been so much fun. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. I'm here and I'm loving it. But one thing I've noticed is, you see, the whole time I've been here, well, we've had CWJC, Christian Women's Job Corps, just down the hall from us here at the top of Lake City Assembly of God. That's where the radio station is housed. And so CWJC, those ladies, I notice them. They come in for their session and they look one way, sometimes downtrodden, sometimes unsure of themselves, like they need to come out of their shell. They need some joy. They need some laughter, some happiness in their life because it just seems like, you know, things just aren't going great for them. But by the end of the session, my goodness, you can see the joy on their face. You can see the transformation that's happened in their lives. It's absolutely amazing. They just started their fall session yesterday, their first full day. I talked with Andrea, the director of it, afterwards. She said it was a great day. So I'm so thankful for that. But there's one thing I want to mention is as these ladies are walking by the studio, you see the studio walls are not that thick and they're not that soundproof. So I know that you can hear the music outside of the studio. So I'm always really careful when they're walking by. I'm thinking, oh no, I'm being too loud. So I try to turn down the volume in the studio. Not for you on the radio, but just here in the studio. So it's not loud for them. But one thing I think is so cool is every now and then Andrea will stop by and I got this huge window in front of me. She'll look at me and she'll point up. She wants me to turn the volume up. So now I've noticed that I'm not turning the music down. When Andrea walks by, I'm cranking it up. I did that just a minute ago to Forrest Frank and Good Day, and she was outside the window praising. So I'm so thankful for people like that. And you know what? It got me to thinking, I went to school for music for a reason. It wasn't to be a music teacher. It was to be a music minister. And though I might not be doing music at a church per se, leading worship on a Sunday, I am definitely ministering with music here in the studio, both to you on the radio, to you on the stream and the podcast through the messages that we have, but also right here in this building, because as they pass by, I'm able to put a smile on their face with the music that's coming through. And it's the music that you can really live by. It brings value to your life. So I just wanted to share that observation I just had with you guys. Thanks for doing life with me. It really means a lot that you're here. Well, good morning and welcome to this day in history, a chance for us to look back on yesteryear, to celebrate some milestones and some achievements, and the movers and the shakers who brought us this far. So what happened on this day in history? Well, let me tell you, I got quite a few things prepared for you. We're going to have some fun with this. It was on this day in 1601 the first Dutch exploration of the New World was completed by Olivier van Noort. In 1664, New Amsterdam was renamed New York as 300 English soldiers took the town from the Dutch. The name honors King Charles II's brother, James, the Duke of York. So there you have it. In 1783, Frenchman Jacques-Alexander Caesar Charles launched the first practical hydrogen balloon. In 1859, Edwin Drake struck oil at 69 feet near Titusville, Pennsylvania, the world's first successful oil well. 1859. In 1910, the first radio broadcast from an airplane in flight was transmitted. The message was sent from a plane over Sheepshead Bay, New York. Hey, that's instrumental in what we're doing right now. In 1913, the first aerobatic maneuver in an airplane took place in Kiev as Lieutenant Peter Nestrov of the Imperial Russian Air Service performed a loop. Wow. Pretty big, huh? You always think about that. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. I would think of those different loop-to-loops and barrel rolls and all the stuff that they do. Pretty cool stuff. But it took somebody to pioneer that, so it looks like that first one was Lieutenant Peter Nestrov. Yeah. Also, it was on this day in history that the first jet flight happened. The world's first jet plane, the German Henkel HE-178, made its maiden flight in northern Germany, piloted by flight captain Erich Warsitz. On this day in 1939, the plane reached a speed of 375 miles an hour. The invention of the jet was credited to two men who worked completely independently and whose nations were bitter enemies in World War II. Sir Frank Whittle of England received the first patent for a turbojet engine in January of 1930. He was also the first to successfully test a jet engine on a laboratory rig in April of 1937. And German doctor Hans von Ohain, who had been working on the concept of a jet engine since 1933, was the first to get his invention into the air, despite not having achieved a successful laboratory test until 5 months after Whittle. So a little bit of a push and pull, a give and take there between two enemies that brought one thing into the world. How cool is that? It was also on this day in 1908, Lyndon Baines Johnson was born, the 36th President of the United States. In 1910, Mother Teresa, the Yugoslavian missionary of Calcutta, India, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1971. She was born on this day in 1910. And then looking back at just one or two more pieces of this day in history. It was on this day in 1727, a band of about 600 Moravians launched what would become a century-long 24/7 prayer vigil known as the 100-Year Prayer Meeting. That model of continuous intercession energized the global mission movement and led the Moravians to send hundreds of missionaries from a small beginning. That's a pretty big deal. 100 years of 24/7 prayer. That's a lot of praying. That's inspiring, isn't it? Wow, that's good stuff. And so anything else? Any more birthdays? Let's see, is there any more here? No, actually. That's it. That's this day in history. So let me bring the music down, close the book, and remind you of the simple truth. There are many facts and figures written throughout this book, excerpts of people's lives and how they impacted the world around them, how they indeed made history. And what a humbling idea for your good history to be written in a book like this. You know what? I hope that for you. I really do. But can I tell you, even if your history is not written in a history book, per se, like this, I know where it is being written. It's on the hearts and in the minds of every person that you come in contact with and how you make them feel. So I wonder if you can take a challenge with me I like to take every day about this time. It's simply this. Let's resolve to make good history today so that when others think of us, they get a smile on their face and a little extra warmth in their heart. What do you think? Can you take that challenge with me? Yeah, I knew you could. Thanks for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. All right, it's that time in the morning for us to check in with a really good friend of ours. His name is Brian Trent from Hampton, South Carolina, where he pastors the Lighthouse Church. He and his family are all across the socials under this handle, Trent Tribe. That's how you can find him for yourself. And you know what? He's really at the church in this particular video. Now, I know you can't see it, but he's going to say, take a look at where we sit. And he's right there along the highway, right outside of his church. And so I just wanted to set that scene for you before I hit this audio. because, radio is theater of the mind. So I just wanted to set the scene. So here we go. Here's what Brian Trent has for us. Take a listen.
So it's early Sunday morning, and I'm out here in front of the church, and I want to show you something. Our church sits right on this pretty busy road. There's a lot of traffic that goes by here, and we get some things that get thrown out, trash. So let me show you this. Occasionally we get beer cans and beer bottles. Now, stuff like that used to make me mad, but it doesn't anymore, and here's why. It kind of made me mad because in my mind I thought, how could they litter on church property of all things? But they're not thinking about that. But now I realize that that can or that bottle is connected to someone that has a story. So I use it as an opportunity to pray for that person. That person could be struggling with an addiction, or they might just been out for a fun night and things got out of hand. No matter what their story is, I grab the bottle of the can and I pray. I say, God, whoever's connected to this, you know them. I pray that you'll reveal yourself to them in a mighty way today. And I remember that every single one of us sitting in this building has their own issues, including me. So I'm not as quick to criticize or judge because I realize that we're all in the same boat. But God's calling us out of that boat. Because the truth is, we've all got trash that we throw out from time to time. Some of us are better at leaving it in our car than other people are, but it still doesn't change the fact that we've all got trash in our cars. But thank God that He meets us right there at our trashy car, and He loves us despite of it. But He loves us enough not to leave it that way. If you excuse me, I got to throw away some trash before I get judged.
I love that. Find an inspiration, a way to connect with people, even through the trash. I mean, come on. Who would have ever thought of that? Pretty cool, right? Yeah. Hey, again, you can find them for yourself. If you'd like, across the socials, just type in Trent Tribe. That's TRENT TRIBE. You'd be glad that you did. I've been following him for well over a year. I guess, 2 years now? It's been a while. And wow, he's got something fresh for us. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah. Come back tomorrow about the same time. We'll have something else from Brian Trent for you. Now, I wonder if maybe I could play one more harder song for you. This is from a local songwriter, Donnie Tolles. Remember? He actually stopped by the studio a while back for the Family Friday segment, and we got to talk a little bit about his journey, about his testimony, and I'm so glad that we did. Well, he's been writing more songs, and guess where he's been getting his inspiration from? Sometimes it's from this show. Last week we were talking about having no fear because we know who has us, right? So it's rising above the fear, pushing through it, doing it afraid anyway. And so he told me that's where he got the inspiration, and he sent me this song. So I want to play it for you. It rocks. Here, see what you think of this.
The flames draw nigh. With God by my side, I can touch the sky. Every step I take, He's my strength and guide. The storms may rage, hell winds may blow, but I won't back down. I'm ready to go. I'm fearless with God. He's my light, my way through the dark.
Donnie Tolles wrote that one. I'm loving it. That one rocked just right. It's reminding me a little bit of Skillet. I told him that yesterday when I told him, I can't stop listening to your song, man. It's so good. I did. I listened to that thing. It's amazing. So, hey, I hope that Brian was listening this morning. He likes the edgier side of stuff. So, Brian, what did you think about that? Let me know on the text. And, hey, what did you think about that? Everybody, let me know. 256-967-0885. What should I tell Donnie about his song? What do you think about it? 256-967-0885. We look forward to hearing from you. Remember earlier I asked you to let me know what you thought about Donnie's new song. And Brian, I was right. He did like it. He said, I like it, especially the drums. So, Brian, thanks for reaching out, man. So, hey, what did you think about Donnie's song? And, hey, you don't have to tell me right now. In fact, maybe you'd like to listen to it again. It's going to be on the podcast. So you can catch it this morning at 10:30 on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Also on YouTube, iHeartRadio Podcast, and on Amazon Music Podcast. All that at 10:30. Just type in Lifeline Morning Show on those platforms to find today's episode. Well, the time has come for me to bid you adieu. But before I do, I'd like to share with you an inspiring quote. In fact, some might say it's a most inspiring quote of the day. Sometimes when things are falling apart, they may actually be falling into place. You see, Psalm 37:7, our word of life today, tells us to be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for him to act, right? That means even when it looks like nothing's happening. Why are we waiting patiently? Well, because, you know what? It's coming. Don't you think God is already at work? Don't you know he's already moving pieces you can't see? He's setting you up for something better than you could imagine. He's good like that. So as you step out into the rest of your Wednesday, I want you to hold your head high. Don't let delays discourage you. Don't let comparison steal your peace. Instead, look for God in the ordinary moments, like in the sunrise, in a kind word, in that small open door that you didn't even expect. Because his timing is not just good, it's perfect. And who knows, today might just be the day when what once felt like falling apart finally starts feeling like it's falling into place. Thanks so much for spending part of your morning with me. And remember, if you missed anything, today's podcast episode drops at 10:30. Okay? All right. You can find it across 5 platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio Podcast, and Amazon Music Podcast. So just type in Lifeline Morning Show there, and you'll find it. Until tomorrow, I want you to walk in faith. Watch for God's hand, and keep reminding yourself his plan is never late. See you tomorrow. Well, look at you. You made it all the way to the end of the podcast. Hey, thank you so much for making this a part of your day. I don't know when you're listening, but thank you. Seriously. And hey, I wonder if maybe what you heard today, something you heard, might help somebody else in your life. Well, could I ask you to do me a favor? Could you please share this podcast episode with them? Yeah, let's see how many people we can touch today. See if we can make their day just a little bit better. I'm so thankful we get to talk about real hope and real faith as we're doing this real life together. So thank you for being a part of it. All right, I'll see you back here next time.